Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to take your taillights from this to this.
Thumbnail face.
And the only tools you're going to need is a heat gun and a flathead screwdriver. Alright guys, this was my first time ever doing this, so I kind of messed it up, but you can learn from my mistakes. So I used the heat gun, I went all the way around the edges, and then I started using a screwdriver and prying in between the lens and the plastic housing to get these tabs to pop through. And it was a pain in the ass actually. As you can see, this one tab is still bent out. This one I'm going to try to do a cleaner job now that I've learned some tips from the first one. You'll need to hold the heat on them for a while in order to loosen the glue. Be careful not to hold the heat gun too close or it will start melting the taillight. And if they're too cold, they're going to crack.
Oh no. Okay, I got it way too hot.
Alright, I definitely melted one of the tabs, but when you start to pry, you're going to want to start on this side that has no tabs on it, and just work your way around until this side fully pops up. Now I'd suggest heating them up again because this is getting me nowhere.
That's not smooth. Okay, I'm gonna quit doing that.
I'm starting to make noises like that.
It's literally just this room. Oh. Hang on, let's just heat it up more and then go for it again. This part took me many tries, so be patient and make sure you keep applying the heat. I had to pry the housing outwards to get the lens off, and of course it happened off camera.
Let's go. I did that one with no airs.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
The last one I cracked like right there, right there, right there, and also a big crack down here. So be very careful. Alright, so now that you're here, you got this reflector. Yeah, the reflector broke out last time. So now you're here, you gotta pop this reflector off. Be very careful. Just like that. It's held in from the right there and right there, I guess. Boom, boom. But you just gotta break it out. And then this one too. So last time I broke the little red thing right there, and then this was way easier to wiggle out. So let me go ahead and do that again. Alright, now that you broke that. Oh, this thing's way more wiggly. You can break it out like that, and then I used my screwdriver and just broke that so you can't see the little bit of red right there. Like that. Perfect.
And before putting them back together, I'm going to seal them with some Harbor Freight epoxy.
Make sure it sits flat all the way around, just squeeze it back on and you're good. You're normal.
The next day.
Alright, I'm going to show you how to remove your taillight. I already removed one because I was making a YouTube short about it, but let's go. All you got to do is take off this panel. It's right here. It's got two tabs you pull, and then it comes out. Alright, now that you have the little panel removed, there's going to be a harness in here. Sometimes the plug will be right here. Other times the plug is actually on the back of the taillight, so you're going to have to reach in and unclip the plug and then pull it from the taillight. Alright, so that's what it looks like that, and you got to pull this little, or push it. You got to push it in. Now you're going to need a 10 mil on a little ratchet. And there's gonna be 2 10 mils in there, one on top, one on bottom. So I'd suggest finding them with your hand and then stick the ratchet in there and then break them loose and then just untwist it by hand after that because it's a bit easier. So guys. The top one is definitely a bit harder to line the ratchet onto. Alright, I got the top one off. So it's definitely a way bigger struggle than the bottom one. Alright, now you gotta just wiggle it out. Alright, now let's put the clear taillights in. Alright, and putting the new taillights in is just as easy as taking the old ones out. Just make sure that it gets behind the bumper right here. Slide it in. And then you've got your 2 10 mils you got to put back on. You got to plug the harness back in. Yeah. Alright, one more thing. Here's one of my stock tails that I just took out. They're going to have a stock brake bolt, which you don't want. You're going to need a LED bulb, which I've already put in. I'll leave a link down below and a code that you can use for a little discount. Alright, so I'm going to put the 2 10 mils back on. Tighten it with the 10 mil. Lastly, you're going to want to plug your harness back in, which I forgot which way. I think it went this way. Yeah, the plug went in the way I was showing with the clip facing this way. And I think the other side is the opposite. Just put your trim piece back on and then you're all done with it. And do the same thing for the other side. Thank you for watching. Here's how they look on the car. They turned out pretty good. I have a lot of future XB content planned, so if that's the type of thing you want to see, subscribe. I need to get my rear lip on next and clean this thing up.